Hey guys, another video for our Gadgets in Japan playlist. This video is about the smartphone, or as we call it in Japanese, the sumaho. And as you can see, stroking the ho and looking at the ho while standing around in Japan is a very popular thing to do, even while talking to people apparently. And quite often in social situations like this, when there's lots of people around, of course people are sending emails and things, but more often than not it really is just playing, just sort of as a bit of a social crutch. It appears that a lot of the people do it really just to avoid any sort of interaction with anybody else. So standing around or sitting around like this, it's quite often the case that they're really just doing it just so they don't have to look at anybody or interact with anybody. They're just sort of staring at it. As you can see, he's really not doing anything there. He's just sort of playing, looking, playing, looking, playing, looking, playing, looking, just so that it avoids sort of any sort of eye contact or interaction with other people. And you can see this because when you're in a close situation like this with lots of people, there's three people walking along talking to each other, playing with their ho. Girl walking home playing with the ho, another one walking along playing with the ho, totally oblivious to what's going on around them, of course. Oh, hello, I'm here, this is where I am. Walking along looking at the ho, and these guys here are walking across a really busy intersection on a really busy main road, and she's just looking at the ho. So if a truck was to come along right now and not stop, she wouldn't even notice. Oh, that's where I am. Oh, I'm here. Walking along, talking on the ho. Sitting and looking at the ho. Very popular. There's a whole bunch of them coming up here. These guys are waiting for the train. All sitting there looking at the ho. And this is where you notice when you're waiting for trains or sitting on the train, is exactly the same scene. Take all those people, when they get on the train, they'll all look exactly like that. There's a couple of old style people there actually looking at books, but the rest of them staring at the ho. And on the train, that's exactly what the scene looks like on the train as well. But when you sit next to someone and you look down, you'll see them just surfing. These guys were having dinner together. It's a family, obviously, mother, father, and the little boy. And they sat there the whole time looking at the ho. And again, very common in Japan in restaurants that people sit there having dinner with each other and not even talk, just stare at the ho, stroke the ho. And in the car is a popular place to stroke the ho, even while driving the car. And of course in Japan that is illegal, but it doesn't stop people. Lots of people do it. You'll see their cars drifting from one side of the lane to the other as they're driving and going a bit slower than usual, and that's a fair bet that when you get up beside them you'll see they're stroking the ho. Sitting at the light, stroking the ho. But when the light goes green, the stroking doesn't stop. The stroking continues. This was a funny one. She missed the green light. We were sitting there, the light went green, we drove away, and she kept stroking the ho, and there was a truck behind her and ended up hitting the horn to get her to move along. So we took off now because the light went green. She's still sitting there. Beep. This is really scary. Truck drivers, or every day we see truck drivers stroking the ho while they're driving their trucks all the time. Really, really common. In actual fact, when we shot this video, every second truck that we saw, the truck driver was either stroking the ho or looking at the ho or talking on the ho. As you can see, this guy's talking on the ho, changing gears, so he's not holding the steering wheel because he's holding the ho. Scary, isn't it? Not even touching the steering wheel, having a big chat there. His mind's a million miles away. Same with this guy, having a good stroke there. Again, he's sitting at the traffic lights, but you watch what happens when the light goes green. He doesn't stop stroking the ho. Off he goes, there he goes. Look at the size of that truck. Really big truck on a really busy main road. And he's stroking the ho. Same with this guy. He's really into stroking the hole, this guy. Really staring at it. So it's a bit of an addiction. It's a bit of addiction. I mean, obviously an extremely useful tool, the hole, for communication and for information and so on, but really a lot of it is really just an addiction thing. Just can't stop looking at the hole, and partly that avoiding other people thing, that avoiding contact with other people and eye contact with other people. In Japanese society, this is a really good way to hide. Anyway, there was it. Stroking the hole in Japan. More videos coming soon.